What are some of the 5 things should a leader know before he lands for a political office? Welcome. This is Critical Conversations on Leadership. And by the way, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? You need to do it. Now, before any leader lands for a political office, it is critical, it is integral for that leader to be able to know 5 important things. Because if a leader does not know these things, then he is going to make a dismal performance, and Wanjiko will be crushed and will be disappointed to have him or her in the office. And now that we have a unique opportunity, and as a country, we every 5 years we have a unique opportunity to vote in the good leaders and vote out the bad leaders. It is our urge from this end to share with you some 5 traits or things that every leader needs to know or needs to assess himself and be able to satisfy himself or herself. And if one has such traits, then you can run for political office. Now, most of the things that we are seeing today, the disappointment, the apathy, the anger that is being displayed, is all because leaders have failed to assess themselves and satisfy themselves with the following things. Number one, I think we just need to have ethical leaders. And when we talk about ethical leaders, we are simply saying these are leaders that are guided by values, godly values. Values like concern, empathy, love, concern, commitment, integrity, stewardship. Those ethics needs to be part and parcel of every leader. Any leader who thinks that he can that things can be guided by non-ethical issues, who does not who does not think ethic is anything important in leadership, then I think he's not really ready to run for political offices. That means there is need to be inner urge, a strong urge, to resist corruption by all means, by all strength. That is very, very important, and that feeling that it is not about entitlement, that you feel I'm not entitled, I am just a citizen, I am just here coming to offer my services. It is all about patriotism. And so what are we saying? That we need to have ethical leaders who believe that it is their patriotic duty, and when they are offering their leadership, it is not about what is in for them, it's about what can I do for my country. But again, we need leaders who have the moral courage, the ethical courage to say this is bad, this is wrong, we are not doing that which is right. Would you imagine how comfortable would be if you step into a hospital only to be treated by a doctor who cheated in the medical school? How about that? Would you feel really comfortable? What about asking a veterinary to come to treat your dogs or to treat your cows who actually did not pass in a veterinary school? That is a disaster. And what we are asking today is very simple, is that we need leaders who have the moral courage to point out these pitfalls, who have the courage to correct these vices. A leader who is courageous enough that will say, we are not going to burn our forest, and once we cut a tree, we need to plant another one. We need leaders that will be able to tell the corrupt leaders, now you cannot be run a public office because you've done wrong. We simply need to have the moral courage, the ethical courage, to be able to shout down and be able to say this is wrong and this is right. So ethical business, and then ethical business, and then number 3, we need passion, or better said, a perseverance. That is, people who are willing to try and try and try again. In other words, Just as like innovators and entrepreneurs keep on trying until they become successful, just like the entrepreneurs that keep on becoming flexible until they are able to get that which they are looking for. This is what we are looking for. An entrepreneur is never tired, is never gives up. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. And that is the third thing that a leader needs to pack into his bag before he runs in his office. If you have the tendency to give up, if you have the tendency to throw in the towel very quickly, then I think you are not really ready to run for public office. If you talk to Winston Churchill, then the Prime Minister of England, he will tell you that it was not a walk in the park for him to have worked in the House of Commons, in the parliamentary system, to persuade the parliamentarians of his day to do away with slavery. It took him a lot of years, a lot of energy, a lot of persuasion, a lot of groundwork, a lot of encouragement, until finally, 3 days to his death, that the England Parliament voted no, or voted yes to have slavery abolished. And we need leaders that are actually like a spider, which keep on trying and trying and trying and trying. That ethical passion, that ability not to give up easily, that kind of where you say, I am not giving up, no matter the discouragement, no matter the odds against me, I am going to try until I get it right. We need leaders who will keep on saying that the corruption is evil. Leaders that will say it is possible for us to survive without debts. It is possible for us to survive on our own without going to borrow from the west or from the east. We need such leaders. We need somebody like Thomas Sankara, who will say it is possible for us to run our own government with minimal interference from the outside. We need leaders that will try, who have the ethical perseverance. And then maybe number 4, we need leaders who believes in inclusivity. Leaders who believes in working together. Leaders who believes that there is no self-made millionaire or self-made success people. That it is very important for us to be able to look at what others are able to offer. You need to go out there and look at, I have this, what is it that other people can come and bring along? The ability to work with others, the ability to network, the ability to ask for advice, the ability to seek advice, the ability to solicit for help from outside, the ability to embrace others so that it becomes successful. Remember, somebody said 1 is too small number to make success, and I think that is very, 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 very important. Which means whether it is policy, whether it is infrastructure, whether it's debt management, whether it's talent management, there is need for inclusivity. We do not need to have a group of people that are marginalized, that feels that they are not part and parcel of the community. There is need even for those who feels like they are not part and parcel to be included. And then number 5, of the big thing that a leader needs to know before he runs for a public office, then the servanthood. A leader needs to pick up the litter. He needs to go to the toilet. Once he finds it dirty, he needs to wash it. Once coffee spills on the floor, he needs to go out there, get a mop and mop it himself. That kind of demonstrating servant leadership needs to be seen. This kind of bossy kind of mentality where you want the people below you to serve you, where you just do things to be shown that to be seen that you are important. It does not fit here nor there. We need to see a leader even before you run for public office, because a public office is a show that is an office that actually recalls you more than you can imagine, demonstrating servant leadership. And so, what are we saying? We need to see that university lecturer picking up his pen when it's forced, going to the board and wiping whatever he has written, going out there and once he walks along the street and finds that there is Rita, picking up the papers and putting them in the right place. That is kind of what we call servant leadership. So what are we saying? Are you learning for public office? If the answer is yes, are you willing to learn for an MCA? Are you willing to learn for to be the governor, to be the women rep, or to be the senator? We ask you to remember 5 things. Number 1, to have the ethical to be ethical, to embrace values that resist corruption, that resist dizziness. Number 2, to have the ethical courage to be able to shout down, to rebuke, to reprimand that is done that is wrong. And then number 3, we are saying you need to have that ethical perseverance, the ability to try until you become successful. Number 4, we need to have inclusivity, the ability to work with others, the ability to go out to the marginalized people and work with them, the ability to seek advice, to seek opinion, to seek feedback, to outsource help from people that I have. And then finally, we need to have that kind of a servant leadership, that we need to pick up the litter, to clean the streets, literally to take a mop and wipe coffee that we have spilled. These are the kind of leaders, and these are the 5 things that the leaders who wants to learn for public office must satisfy. And you as Wanjiku must be observant and see, do these people satisfy? Do these people meet the criteria? Do they meet the threshold? Are they servant leaders? Do they work with others? Are there people who have the moral courage to rebuke and to reprimand that which is wrong? Are they ethical? And we are saying, are they people who keep on trying and trying? If they do not meet the threshold, then please do not vote in. By the way, thank you very much for those of you that have followed us. Please keep on tuned. This is Critical Conversations on Leadership, an online platform that encourages, equips, and engages leaders so that we can be able to build good leadership. Until next week, such a time as this, my name is John Kimani. Remember what you always say here, inawezekana.